Back. It's Paul Firestarter here. I just watched this video a little while ago, and I thought there was some interesting things said by John D. Console Kits is interviewing him at San Diego Comic Con.
Having a cab like this.
Well, anytime we do collaborations, it's really about expanding our market and our audience for people, who are into like shoe collections or hypebeast stuff. And so doing this allows us to, like, we're here in the Capcom Kits booth, right in the heart of the Marvel booth in San Diego Comic-Con. So it exposes a lot of people to our brand. And I always felt like, these cabinets are basically for collectors. So in that way, it makes sense. And also, there's a lot of younger people who don't know about arcades that are, getting exposed to our brand. I like it. We've done the same with Supreme. We've done the same with Champion. And it's been a great way for us to, really communicate even to a younger crowd. I do understand that it's not for everyone.
Right.
A lot of people my age don't know what the hell Kit is. But when they start understanding, like, how great of a brand it is, I think Arcade 1-Up is for multiple audiences.
Right. I noticed here on the top, it actually says it's a limited edition, 225 units. So is that right? There's just a limited edition, like 225?
So a lot of these collections are very limited edition. That's what, like, these collectors do. And so that's why there's an upcharge in the price. And it's for people who really love Kit, just like people who love the Supreme.
And I think part of the
everything that you see here in this Kit collaboration,
less of them is the higher the price.
It's limited editions.
I see. Yeah. So a lot of people in the community are always wondering about what's coming next. So we always want to talk about what's coming next now. Also, this year we saw some interesting things in the home arcade community, like the company iArcade ended up filing for bankruptcy. But I want to talk a little bit about that. So one thing I have is, like, will we see some more products coming from Arcade 1-Up this year? Do we got more releases, more titles? What do we got?
Yes, definitely. We have I would say we have 2 very new products coming out. We also have different form factors that probably use a lot of the same game list. But we have actually coming out, I would say roughly about 7 more products coming out.
Yeah. They might consider that new.
Right, that's pretty cool. Now, I'm wondering, because, I like the business side of Arcade 1-Up, we're just following it, right? With iArcade, their model was you would purchase games a la carte.
Sure.
And with them no longer being in the game, is that something Arcade 1-Up is considering getting into, or is that not a model? Like, what do you think of that?
We're definitely considering it, and I think it'll happen probably sooner than later.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the reason that we hadn't considered it before is because
I wonder
to have a model where you're adding games or monetizing on extra games, you really have to have a huge install base, right? I mean, so like Steam, you put a game on Steam, they got millions and millions of people to to serve the game to and market to. We just passed 4 million cabinets.
Oh, really? Okay,
right?
That's
so
4 million.
We just passed 4 million cabinets. No, I think it's time that we should start considering. It's a good business model for adding extra games. And I think you should see that probably in 2024.
Okay,
I would think. But that's the plan. Like, but when we only had 1 million, out there that was connected. I mean, when you talk to licensors, they don't see the benefit just yet. But now I think we're getting to that point. I always thought like 5 million cabinets would have been, the right number. Then we can take it more seriously.
Right.
But even outside of a business sense, I think people are wanting to add more games, even if it doesn't make too much financial sense. And so I would imagine maybe 2024 we see something like that.
Yeah. Now, you kind of established that you have a different series of game lineups. You got the 3/4 scale without a riser. Then you kind of got a 3/4 scale with the riser. Then you got Deluxe, Excel.
Yeah.
Where do you think you're going to be putting most of the new titles coming out in that category? Will we see more Excels?
Maybe
we'll definitely see more Excels.
It's probably been
next
in
year.
the works longer than.
Okay. We'll probably see 1 Excel this year.
Oh, all right.
In terms of 3/4 scales with a riser and without a riser. So when we go into these retailers who want a little bit less, a lower price point, like an entry-level price point,
right?
Like the $299, just like we did back in the day.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, the great thing about those is that we'll start selling more generic risers to help that out. And the great thing about that is because those cabinets also are Wi-Fi enabled. Mm-hmm. So when we start adding games, you know, it'll be for all those SKUs.
Another question for you is, you have a couple different models of making games, right? So you have basically emulation, like you're going to port that game over for emulation. And another one you've done a few times is a native port, like you're actually recreating the game from source code. Can you tell us, I know you probably don't want to mention any names, but is there anything in development that where you're making another game native, or were you kind of leaning more emulation area?
Yeah, so I think there's a misconception.
I think that's about it from that video that I really wanted to talk about. I found that very interesting. I was just thinking about how they must have been waiting for Arcade to go out of business before they started adding just games as an option. And if it's really 2024, that seems very quick to start doing that. Anyways, I just thought it would be interesting to talk about, see what you guys think. Comment, like, subscribe, all that YouTube jazz. Take care, guys.